On this week's episode, we talk about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
The greatest hits.
And all the pop culture news. We just had the chance to see the new Guy Ritchie movie. And our critics, our reviews about it should just be the same as pretty much every other Guy Ritchie movie. It's good. Go see it. Mm-hmm. So that's
all right,
it.
Good show. Let's
And the credits.
Yeah.
No, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, the latest Guy Ritchie movie, is spectacular. It's really good.
It really is good. This is my favorite Guy Ritchie film. And it's a high bar. He's such a clever writer. Great cat. Like, his films are always a blast. But this one blew it out of the water. It's based on true story, based on...
And I'm not sure if this is marketed very well. I didn't know it was a true story. I was on board for a Guy Ritchie movie. It didn't matter if it was true or not.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is all true... It's so good.
Yeah. So this is based on confidential documents from Winston Churchill that were only unsealed or declassified, I guess, in 2016.
Almost 10 years ago. So.
Yeah. So this is a story that's fairly newly discovered. It's set in World War II. We've just got a whole band of, don't want to give spoilers, but yeah, this is all based on true stories. It even ends with, the whole montage of like the photograph of the real person and then a little blurb about them and what happened. It was fantastic. Despite it being based on a true story, this film had nods to so many great movies of yesteryear. Casablanca, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indiana Jones. Not sure if that was on purpose or not, but it totally worked if it was.
Like what?
Score, like our...
the Indiana Jones part.
The Indiana Jones part. A lot of the setting, our leading lady captured by the Nazis in a white dress.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was deliberate nods. There were just a few moments that made me think, yes.
Yeah.
Nazis. I hate those guys.
Yeah. Oh, and the treatment they give to Nazis are the proper treatment the Nazis should get. There's no such thing as too violent when you're doing that to save the innocent, to protect the loved ones, and when you're killing Nazis. And in this movie,
to save the planet from the forces of darkness.
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating there.
And in this one, the Nazis are treated as the scum they were. So, but I didn't know. Too bad. You allied with them. Yeah, you're a Nazi. You're gonna get the knife, and they get the knife so many times. Beautifully done.
The score is like heavily inspired by like Ennio Morricone, the composer of who did all the scores for the spaghetti westerns. Like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly and stuff. So it gives us all these great cowboy vigilante justice type, we're going rogue and we're kicking butts and taking names and type. And anyway, it's just fantastic. We've got Cary Elwes being, the sardonic British officer. We have Henry Cavill being completely insane but also very English.
He's as the movie is based on true story. We have Sir Ian Fleming there, working with the British spies as he did, where he got the inspiration from the creation of James Bond. You might learn more about it at the end of this movie. It's spectacular. Guy Ritchie makes movies like no one. He's one of the best of his generation, and at the moment, this movie is completely 100% woke free, no woke garbage. He treats men as men should be treated. He treats women as women should be treated. They write great characters, tell a great story. It's one must see. Absolutely, it's incredible.
Interesting note, despite the lack of woke garbage, we have a diverse cast. We have a powerful female lead. Granted, not a lot of women on screen, but it's not a story that involves a lot of women.
No,
but the women who are on
screen
screen
there was just
are
on the day.
fantastic.
Just on the day there was a Oh, we talked on previous episodes. We talked about how they treat women on games and how they look terrible, and some of the reasons for that. And there was a guy, one of the big bosses of the companies, one of the video game companies that are doing that, says like, no, we're doing it on purpose. It's our agenda, it's our policy, which is, yeah. Anyways, no, here he's very realistic. We have the amount of women that the story had. We had the amount of men that the story had. But she's a very important character, and she's treated as such. She
has strength and intelligence. And
she's not a damsel in distress. She's beautiful, but she's very competent, and all the characters
has great lines.
All the characters are magnificently written and portrayed majestically. Alan Ritchson, Henry Cavill.
Oh my gosh, this is such a great role for Alan Ritchson.
It's so good.
I feel
From
like
the
he
beginning
really
of the movie to the end, it's like, wow. It's like the kind of thing.
Fantastic.
The kind of thing is like we want more. And I don't know. I'm not gonna spoil the end, but is that possible? No. I mean,
there were some
maybe
things
there's
that I was
more.
like, this is gonna happen, and
I didn't know about this story. Maybe there's more to tell, but spectacular, really good, beautifully done. Guy Ritchie did it again, and geez, it's one to rewatch. It's like you don't feel preached or bugged by any ideology or pandering. He came to tell the story. He did tell the story. The story is amazing. He had a terrific cast, and
this is one thing Guy Ritchie's really good at. I don't know how involved he is in casting, but he's got to be, because he's always really good at getting a cast, and not just getting a good cast, but also like playing to their strengths.
I think it's a combination.
Seems so natural. We couldn't imagine anybody else in these roles, and it's pretty consistent throughout his movies.
And also I think it's a combination of if you're British, or even if you're an actor, and Guy Ritchie calls, you go running, because you know the guy makes great movies, and this movie is so good. It's sort of like he has some similarities with Tarantino. But I honestly like him better, because Tarantino it might be a great writer. Some people might agree, some people might disagree. But in a movie like Inglourious Bastards, right, which was on World War II, a band of a military group of Jews that went to go for revenge, to go to fight Nazis. But the movie has so much. It's some people Tarantino's favorite, that one, which personally for me is not. I think Django Unchained was my favorite. His narrative is chronological, and anyways, so Inglourious Bastards for me was kind of disappointing. It was like the first block where the main character talks to the two main characters. I mean, one of the main characters talks to the father of the main character, sitting on a cabin. It's dense, it's tense, but it takes so long and takes away so much from the rest of the movie that it lacks from the action that you should. I want to see the Inglourious Bastards kicking butts, killing Nazis, and that's very little. It's like there's a lot of text, there's a lot of dialogue, and I don't know, on that context, I was expecting more. I mean, less dialogue and more action. Guy Ritchie, he writes superbly, and he makes action like nobody. And yeah, it's spectacular. It's a movie for everybody. It's a movie for
not for kiddos.
Okay, of course, but I
everyone should see it once they reach a certain age. Let's put it that way.
But I mean, it's for the time. This movie is gonna be loved in the future, like a lot of Guy Ritchie movies are. But this one it's a true important story.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. It's like real life heroes. I don't know.
A lot of Guy Ritchie movies, I would say, you need to see this if you're into like gangs, heists, things like that. This one, I would say,
he
you
makes
just need
movies
to see
for
it,
the
period.
gangs?
No,
if you're into gangs.
No, if you're into...
Hey, gang
oh
member,
my gosh.
join us to watch the new Guy Ritchie.
No. If you're into, like that type of film, that genre of, like, criminal heists and things like that. This one I would say adults should see it, period. The dialogue is so masterfully written that even though we don't spend a lot of time with it, we understand right from the beginning, even though the action starts, like, right away, we understand right from the beginning who these men are, like, who they are, why they're willing to do what they do. And then also we spend a little bit of time with Churchill and the things he says. Like, he explains so clearly in a couple of very short scenes why this all has to happen. Because this is a war movie, specifically an ungentlemanly warfare movie, and it gets pretty ugly. And so I think it's great that he sets that up at the beginning so that you understand why all this ugliness has to happen and why it's really important. And then the rest of the movie, you're free to like, it just sets up, like, the bad guys are very bad and they have to be stopped at any cost. And our good guys, maybe good isn't quite the word, but they are heroes because they're going to make this happen. And, oh man, it's just really well written.
The original, they were basically the original Suicide Squad.
Very much
CIA,
so.
Not CIA, intelligence super agents. There would be disavowed, like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Does that too. There would be disavowed if they get caught.
But more fun.
But it's so good. And it's Guy Ritchie again. As redundant as we say in the beginning. There's not a lot to say because the guy makes it as he get old. If he makes better stuff. And if there's justice in this world, there's a lot of talks about the new James Bond, right? And Cavill is always in the top of the list, even though there was some rumors. Natural. There was rumors about Aaron Taylor Johnson. Let's call him Aaron Taylor Johnson. But it turned out to be rumors. There's nothing official yet. He sort of denied it. Which doesn't mean it's not true, but if anything, if Cavill would be a really good one, Guy Ritchie is like, he's British, right? And come on, seriously, why are you looking anywhere else? He's
English. He's like, he can do like posh. He can do like tight lace, button up, Boy Scout, but he can also do like crazy man with the machine gun. Like, the man's got basically James Bond can eat his heart out. This guy wins.
But I think he's very thorough. He's author of his stuff, and you can tell it's his, and he seems to have freedom to do what he wants, and he does. And I don't know, with the current momentum for Bond. They pandering to everything, and they talk about Bond woman, Bond black, Bond Chinese. I don't know if he would like make any concession, especially being British and James Bond being an institution, a British institution. He has Ian Fleming on this movie. The way he shows and respects the character, I don't think he would pander. He would do concessions to the woke mob. So maybe that's why he's never gonna make a James Bond movie.
Cavill has demonstrated over and over again he's very true to his sources, and
Cavill was
part of what makes him so great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't that what I?
No, I was talking about Ritchie.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Well.
Yeah. No. Ritchie. He does what he wants. And he does it well. If people come to pander, say, "Oh, we need to have a," I don't think he would, and he's right. He does everything really right. What else we need to talk about?
It's hard to say more without spoiling anything. I just think this is a fantastic movie.
Everybody Shines is one of those movies that, and he does that. He has. Big ensemble movies with a lot of characters, a lot of actors and actresses, and everybody shines. And this one is not different. He does this, Yeah,
it was fantastic. You need to see it. This is worth going to the theater for.
Intense, full of action, explosions, really well done.
Action, emotion, high stakes. Oh man. It was a blast. I was thoroughly entertained beginning to end, but there's also like like it's got like real meat to it, real substance, and it's high quality film.
It's classic cinema. The bad guys are bad, inexcusably bad. The good guys are good, and they get things done, and it goes out with a bang, and it's a lot of bangs. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean that's it. We're not gonna spend more time on it because we would be redundant.
Yeah.
It's an amazing movie. You should go watch if you didn't see it yet. It's the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah.
It's Guy Ritchie doing great. I hope it does great in the box because he deserves it. Everybody involved deserves it. It's a movie. It's like fresh. It's so it's ironically it's so fresh because people don't do that anymore. People keep like pandering and doing the crap agendas and woke garbage. And when he does, and he goes against the current, goes against the wave, and does his own to tell a story, it's just refreshing. It's
and it's pretty impressive to do a World War II movie that feels like fresh and new and unseen, because we've been making World War II movies since World War II, and but somehow this one is new, different, well worth a watch. All right.
Okay, so the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, it's available on theaters. Technically, it's available on theaters everywhere. This is pre-recorded, so you're gonna see this review after the movie premiered. So it's available in theaters everywhere. You should go see it. It's a blast. It's spectacular.
So good.
Guy Ritchie did it again. So we also saw a new Hulu movie. It's called The Greatest Hits. Not the greatest hits. The you say.
The Greatest Hits.
Yeah. With I can't remember the last name, Boynton. Is this girl? She was on the what's the movie called? The Nile, Death in the Nile. The second Poirot movie.
The second Poirot movie.
Yeah, Death in the Nile. She was on that. She was I can't remember other things. One of the guys was on Umbrella Academy. The other guy is a Superman to be. And she kind of was like, this guy is Superman. Anyways, and of course Rita, that is on Parks and Recs. And so small movie, small cast. The director is the and writer. He also wrote. I'm not gonna give this credit because it's actually a discredit to his career. But on this one, he made a very compelling, very interesting story. A time travel story.
Yeah, but also a love story and a story about grief and loss. It was really unexpected, beautiful, meaningful, thoughtful, emotional. Those are all adjectives that could describe it. Yeah,
it has some tropes and predictabilities of some other movies of the genre, but overall was really nice. It has a lot of music, as the name suggests. Music guide the plot. Music connect people, and I thought it was very creative.
It was, and I didn't feel like at any point I had seen this movie before. And there were a couple moments where I'm like, oh, okay, I can see where this is going, but I wasn't ever 100% sure. And it was, we got there in such different ways, or the way the story was told, the way the characters were told, or were written. It felt new and fresh, but also some really, so it's working on a lot of levels. We've got our time travel dilemmas. Do I go back and change the past? What is that going to do to the future? All that good stuff. The whole grief and loss, and would it have been better to have never been with this person so I don't feel this pain, but then I would lose all the beauty and the goodness and the love that person brought into my life, and at what point do you move on, and all this other great stuff. And then like possibly a new love story and friendships, and it's working on a lot of levels, and all the levels are very thoughtful and lovely. Also, all the girls in the movie wore some pretty radical eyeliner.
All the girls?
Which doesn't...
There was only...
Yeah, okay, like all 2 of them, but...
2? What's the second one?
The sister.
Oh, of course, okay.
Again, very minor detail, but there was some fun.
Oh, yeah. Super important detail.
I just want to say it was kind of cool. There were interesting aesthetics.
With great eyeliner.
It was fun. It makes me want to go get a turntable. It was
for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I know it's a dumb detail, but it's one that I noticed. So
no, it was beautiful. It has the whole self-sacrifice and pain. I thought it was a very interesting, from a character's perspective. There's imagine if you meet a girl or you meet a boy, and he or she tell you that they time travel, right? It's sort of people with mental problems. Is that what you call it? Mental problem, mental disease,
mental
illness. It's you can choose to stay and help, right? Compassion, or you can say, oh, I'm out. You can love will help you deal with that with the person and help and or it's like, nope, I'm out. This girl is pretty, or this guy is handsome, but I don't want to be involved with this cuckoo bananas person. Yep. And I thought it was a very interesting way to. I'm not sure if this was the intention for me. For me, I felt like that was there because people connect. But then there was this deterrent. I was like, sorry. But no, people, in this case, people choose to stay and support and love and compassion. And there's more to it. I'm not going to get to it because that's not the meat of the movie. Or is it?
Yeah, there's like layers. That is not one that I had thought of.
Yeah, but
that's interesting.
Beautifully done. And what else can I say? There's music. There's a lot of music.
Yeah, and a lot of music that like you probably haven't, or at least that I had not heard before. Which is nice. A lot of new music.
Cars for kids.
Right, for kids. Like that great little jingle.
It's a very when I saw the trailer. I didn't see the trailer. I actually was looking for something, and I stumbled at the poster. I was like, what is these pretty people? And I saw Corenswet's name. He's the guy that's supposed to be Superman. So I went to see the synopsis. I was like, wow, this could be interesting. And it is. Yeah, it's very fresh. Very very interesting. It's PG-13, so the young ones could see. There's not. Maybe some curse words. That's what made it PG-13, right?
I think so, and just some heavier themes.
It's themes, yeah. That's right. Yeah. There's the heavier themes.
Like, I don't know that even though there's not like a lot of like nudity or sex or even that much swearing, I don't know that I'd watch it with my kids just because it's stuff that they're not like our 7-year-old's not ready to. She doesn't need to be thinking about that stuff yet.
Yeah. But overall really good. It's called The Greatest Hits. It's available on Hulu. It's brand new. It's fresh. It's a Hulu exclusive or Hulu original content, whatever they call. You should see it if you're into time travel or if you're into, I guess, romantic story,
thoughtful, well-written movies that make you think about stuff and feel things.
I didn't want to mention his credit, but this guy was in charge. He behind the screenplay for Black Widow, which it makes me sad to see how Disney kind of violates and stops and sort of
clipped his wings.
Yeah, clip the wings of talent. Because this guy did a terrific movie.
Right? Like, how are these from the same people? What could he have done? Like, how much more, what more, like, depth and interest and emotion and everything else could he have given to that movie?
And but I mean, it's like he's Kevin Feige's kingdom, whatever he decides is the law, which is interesting. Let me finish with the greatest hits, so we come to a piece of news. But available on Hulu. Again, you should see it. Anything else?
No, I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, so go check on Hulu. The greatest hits. Very, very fun, very interesting take on time travel.
And
love. So again, I said this guy wrote and directed this movie. A very talented, very fun movie, and he was behind Black Widow. And I said it was the kingdom of Kevin Feige.
Can I just jump in here with a comment? Like, the single greatest thing that came out of She-Hulk was the idea of Kevin Feige as like this AI robot algorithm that's making all the decisions about the Marvel Universe. I feel like it's applicable here.
So it's interesting on how they play. They play as they go, right? And this week, one of the producers, the surfaced the concept, the idea that he didn't know who the heck or what the heck was Zendaya on the first of the MCU Spider-Man. And it was a surprise at the end because MJ is spectacularly beautiful, tall, red hair, supermodel, and this girl on the first MCU Spider-Man, she was not pretty, not attractive, not interesting, not a supermodel.
Zendaya, she's like a fashion icon. She's a model.
Yeah, but in that movie,
I mean, they didn't like dress her up or glamour her up or anything. Yeah. She was dressed as a tired teenager.
Sure, she's a fashion icon, but I don't think she's a classic Hollywood beauty. Anyways, but the other girl in the movie, on the first Spider-Man, she was very pretty, and it turns out there was like a completely nobody secondary character, just a diversion. Anyways, so there was this twist at the end that it was revealed that sort of like loser was MJ, and it was revealed this past weeks that the producers didn't know, and Kevin Feige didn't know. It was like he didn't know, or I mean, it's in both cases it fails, because if he didn't know, he's failing for incompetency, for not knowing the movie that he's behind. Again, it was Sony, so he was there, but he wasn't really there.
Still.
And if he didn't know, and now they are like lying. It's like, oh, I didn't know, like, to sound charming, to sound interesting, like they did so many times. Like there's a kid on Iron Man 3 or 2. There's like he was wearing Iron Man mask and he's with an adult lady there, and then someone asks, "Is that Peter Parker? Is that Spider-Man?" And it's like, "Oh yes, totally. Of course." So I was like, come on, Anyways, so there's that. Other pieces of news. We don't have a lot of news. This was pre-recorded, and we talk about all the news from the previous episode because we also pre-recorded that one.
Yeah.
But what came from the news room on this episode is that Lower Decks, Star Trek Lower Decks for Paramount Plus was canceled. The 5th season will be its last, so it will end when the season ends in the fall. Another show that was canceled was The View. No. Don't start like celebrating yet.
Don't tease us.
It was not The View. It was The Talk. But hey.
Oh, okay.
But it's a good start. Maybe it's expanding.
I don't get the point of these shows.
It's a massive cancellation on the useless shows. So, I think that's it. Anything else?
No, I think we just about covered it.
I think that was all the news because, again, we don't have much news this week. But next time we see each other, we're going to talk about, so much. The end of Shogun.
Yeah.
The end of Palm Royale. Then so many endings. And some cool movie we're going to see. Hopefully going to find something fun. Because, from time to time, something really cool, really thoughtful. People work hard on it, and it gives you a great product. Again, on this one, there was I feel like only the greatest hits. To be specific, I felt like he came to tell the story, and he told the story. He has a female lead, a great female lead. He has male characters, and at no point it feels like he's pandering. He's doing work, garbage agenda. He tells the story. Is a human story, even though it's supernatural or fantastical. And it works in so many levels, so we fully recommend. So is Guy Ritchie. So we basically here to tell you, go watch those movies. Yeah, because they're very good. And if you don't like it, you have problems. Anyways, I guess that's it for this week. We come back next week with more pop culture news, entertainment. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.